Obviously, I can see Dave's done a little bit of preparation there. He's got a booklet out. I've got a few notes written down here. Gav has got absolutely nothing.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, mate.
So, Bills, you want to make sure you're in the best shape possible. You want to be in the team, obviously, in and around it. And then it's just excitement.
Oh, no, Dave.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do there with Rice, Bellingham, Foden?
So you're seeing Rice, Trent, and Bellingham.
And Bellingham, yeah. And Foden will play it wide.
That he is a very, very cautious manager and he's a defender. So I'd feel safer with Harry Maguire there, just like heading the ball out. And
I think Pickford, for me, gets too emotional. He's too leery. He's not big enough.
How many times can you remember us winning, like, in the big games? Like, it's a disgrace. The squad's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
You're saying that, if you're saying the squad's a disgrace, you're a disgrace. So I think Scotland will do amazingly well to get to the third game.
No, I think we've embarrassed ourselves enough.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm absolutely knackered. Portugal for me.
You didn't say anything.
I want to say England, but...
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of In the Stiffs. We're going to be looking at England's upcoming European Championships match against Serbia with my pals, Dave and Gav. Obviously, I can see Dave's done a little bit of preparation there. He's got a booklet out. I've got a few notes written down here. Gav has got absolutely nothing.
To be fair,
It's in there, the winner, Gav.
the fact I'm here is a great effort, I think, you know.
Gav's
Brought his hangover.
just flown back in from Marbella this afternoon.
Yeah.
Good trip.
Lovely trip, yeah. My wife's 40th celebration, so went there.
You've dragged on then 40 celebrations.
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago. No, nice little trip. Nice to be back. Excited to. I came back specifically for the podcast. They're all out there.
Wednesday night in the diary.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, as we know, it's 8 years since Dave Edwards made his appearance in the European Championships, isn't it?
Yeah,
This
it's
time
gone quick,
8 years
isn't it?
ago.
You playing the Euros, do you?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, mate.
So England have got their first game coming up. They're in camp. Dave, how will the lads be feeling at the moment then?
Excited because obviously you had the long hard season and now you're getting ready for the Euros, but it's just a bit of a formality, those friendly games. Bills, you want to make sure you're in the best shape possible. You want to be in the team, obviously, in and around it, and then it's just excitement. Everyone's like full of ambition, aren't they, at the start before the 0-0 draw in the first game, and everyone starts to get on your back. You've had that with their last friendly, but now they'll be so excited. I don't know if it was like that for us because it was our first tournament. We didn't know what to expect. But a lot of these lads as well, they're young and they'll feel like they've got a right good chance, so they'll be really excited.
Will they be talking with each other about it? Like, would you have a roommate? Will they have roommates or will they have their own?
Nah,
room?
they have their own room.
Have their own room. So, but when they're sitting around chatting to their mates, will they be talking about what they think the team might be?
In smaller groups, I think they will be.
Yeah.
Not as a whole. I think you naturally have
instead of him.
you'll naturally have conversations when you're sat next to each other on the bus or things like whether you think you'll play and stuff like that. So them things will be going on. They'll spend a lot of time together as well, even though you've got your own room. They have all like the common areas, which they'll usually around the physio beds and stuff like that, making sure that they're all together and chatting. And it's all, I don't know if they did, I imagine they did when we were there. We used to all go down and watch all the games. It was like proper exciting. So the lads be getting rubs, doing stretching, playing on computer, playing darts, but all the games be on the background. And I always remember watching the first game of the Euros where France won late on. I think they won 2-1. I can't remember who they played. But I remember watching it thinking like we were the next game the following day. Whoa, and I was like, this is fucking... And I knew I was starting. So I was like, oh my God, like somebody scored the winner for France, obviously in their home country. And man, I'm thinking, imagine if I score tomorrow. It was incredible.
Quality.
The excitement then is like, wow.
So on that then, when do you think the lads will be told in terms of preparation? When do you think that they'll, will he announce it collectively or will he speak to individuals? When would they know?
I think he'll do it. I'd imagine they'll do it collectively on the day before, whether that's in a meeting beforehand or out on the pitch when they're doing the tactical stuff. I think if there's any big decisions to be made in terms of big personalities not playing, he'll have that conversation beforehand.
Yeah.
Before he wouldn't just tell them in front of the group. Say, I know this wouldn't happen, but say if Harry Kane's not going to play, do you know what I mean? You'd have that conversation beforehand.
Yeah, of course.
But the first 15 minutes are always open to the media. So you get there and you literally just do generic stuff until the media have gone, and then you start working on your tactical stuff. I remember actually we did Chris Coleman for our one. We was doing a little bit of shape in the media there, but it was like
pointless. Yeah,
we had the team out, which wasn't the team. And
was there a little bit of kidology there? Was there a bit of decoy? Like, we'll set up as a 4.
It was close to the team. I can't remember the exact details, but it was close enough to the team for people to be looking at it thinking that could be the team. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely.
And shape as well.
Yeah,
like
so
change
just
the
go
shape
through-
and
just go
stuff.
through just going.
They
through
do it
little
now,
patterns of
funny.
play.
Like in the warm ups, you go out there, lads come
Yeah.
in and go, Gaffer,
Lining up for
they're
the
set
back.
up as a 3, and you're
Yeah.
like, no, they always play a 4, and then we're like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
Will they not be doing shape now though? Like the lads will know. Will the lads not know that they're playing? I think they'll know the team.
No,
yet?
I think
Like, this is
they'll mix it up.
couple of
So
days
they'll
beforehand.
do the shape and they'll keep rotating players in and out. I'd imagine is what they would do, and then usually the day before, probably nine out of the 11 will know they're starting. You'd imagine, wouldn't you? And then it's just
I
those-
don't know because there's a few, isn't there? There's quite a few permutations and there's quite a few.
It doesn't have
interesting
the
decisions.
certainty of
Yeah,
recent tournaments,
definitely
has
hasn't got
it?
the certainty. Come on, lad, but what's your initial thoughts of the squad, Gav? There's obviously some big emissions: Grealish, Maddison.
I think when I wasn't paying a lot of attention, and you just sort of see the lads collectively and all the names and the really big squad before they start narrowing it down, I was really optimistic. And I don't want to say that I'm pessimistic, but I don't have the air of confidence that I would have had a couple of weeks ago. I feel like I don't understand the Maddison one. Why you wouldn't take him? I find that really. Who's the young lad that's?
You know,
No, not Mainu. The other lad that they've.
Wharton.
Yeah, like obviously incredible. Going to be an amazing talent. In my book, probably going to be hopefully this comes back and bites me on the backside, but probably going to be a tournament too soon. Maddison for me, you just take him, game changer. The grit. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm really confident about the front 6. I'm not so confident about a back 4.
I think that's
Definitely. Yeah.
general consensus.
Is
isn't
it?
when you look at that?
What about you, Sam? In terms of players who have missed out, is there anyone you would want to see in the squad?
I'd like Grealish to go. I'd always like, and I get that he hasn't
He would-
done
he would
well.
be
I
the
get
one
that.
for
I
me.
get that. Pep didn't use him in the last 3 or 4 games when they needed a win. So if Pep's not having him,
Can I just say that on that though? Like he didn't play a massive amount, Grealish, and I think there's an element here that people are overlooking in terms of like burnout from last year. Maybe he's not played that level whilst being at Aston Villa, with the greatest respect. Thing for me is when they play against Real Madrid, everybody was fit. He played because he trusted him.
But
And I
he
think-
didn't trust him in the last 4 games of the season.
No,
He
I get-
He didn't play a single
get
minute
that.
when they needed to win.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like I think Pep's he knows what's going to win the games. And I think in a massive game like that against Real Madrid, and ultimately they got beat on penalties, but I think that for me showed that he's still there. I think there's just been an element of
Yeah,
burnout.
he's the one for me out of everyone. I'd like to have seen Jared Branthwaite go. I think he's good enough to go and play. But I think Grealish, in the past, in recent tournaments, he's always been the one who's come off the bench as something different, isn't he? Because he'll receive the ball, he's brave. And England have always been good at set pieces, so the amount of fouls he wins and stuff like that. I just feel like he could have definitely played a big part at some point.
Even if you're winning, even off the bench if you lose, but even if you're winning, he's the sort of player you want to get on the ball, don't you? He's won more fouls in Europe or something, didn't he, whatever it was. So you wouldn't. I don't know. I just think he's such a big player and
character.
I get he hasn't played, but he's big character, big player. I think the lads would like to see him on the bench.
I agree.
Like when you look around you, and
I mean, you
won't
say
see it,
you say bench, Sam. I reckon he'd probably be in my starting lineup.
Well, yeah, he could be, couldn't he? Because I'm
Possibly on that
Because
left-hand
I
side.
always think, like, when you've got an out-and-out winger the other side, and is it going to be Saka?
you would imagine it'd be Saka on the right.
So I like the balance of that out-and-out winger, but then Grealish is that one that tries to get to by like suck him in, gets numbers, and then he plays into that second phase, doesn't he, to really expose or cuts in and does that in-swinging cross. He'd probably start for me. So I was really shocked.
One thing I think at Southgate, he's completely changed his attitude to when we had conversations with Joe, and we've seen it in the past where he's so loyal to players, and he's always been hammered about it, hasn't he? So the fans, the press, and that saying he needs to pick players on form, and it's almost like, this is going to be my last tournament.
Yeah.
I don't want any excuses. You basically told me what you want me to pick. You want me to pick players on form, so I'm going to leave out so and so, and then he's done that. It's almost like he's done exactly what the fans have been calling for.
I agree.
That makes sense. So it can't have any comeback on him a little bit.
I don't get why everybody's going, oh my God. Like, obviously, I've got on my WhatsApp groups and I've just muted half of them. Like Joe, he's horrendous, like, the worst squad ever. And I'm like, well, you could argue for Grealish. You could maybe make a point for Maddison, Brathwaite. After that, like, what? It's not madness, is it?
No.
I would probably pick
I
the same
agree.
20.
And I don't think any of those players in the squad you could really say don't deserve to be there either.
No.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
They've all had
Really?
good seasons.
They've all had very good seasons, yeah.
Peter Beardsley's in there, is he?
Yours mentioned.
I love a Peter Beardsley. I love an old school player.
Because he's
He's a twin. It's not twin.
It's good for looking after your kid. He's good that you give him a mention.
Yeah,
he's relevant.
He's a great lad.
Your kid relevant. Right, so going on into a team then. So the team to start against Serbia
Peter Shilton. Sorry.
on Sunday. Who are you picking? Let's start with
Should we go through the team and see if we have any differences? So, like, goalkeepers all Pickford.
Pickford. Got to be.
Yeah.
Shape, 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
We've
back.
only got 4 defenders anyway, I think, haven't we? So we have to.
Right back for me. Shall we go first or
Yeah.
you happy with me?
It's
It'd be Trent for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you play Kyle Walker centre back?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad move. Against Serbia, it depends, doesn't it? Like, because I think against Serbia,
I don't know anything about Serbia, so of course it's dependent on the opposition, isn't it?
That's all we know of, do we? I don't know who
Yeah.
they've got. We've got Mitra up front now, they've got Tadic playing. I don't know who else.
It's dependent on opposition,
You'd
but
like to
I'm
think
talking
better
as a
than
generic
Milinkovic-
team.
Yeah, got Milinkovic Savic in midfield who's really good. Saying that he's in Saudi Arabia now, but yeah, they've got
As a
decent
generic
players.
team, we're talking, aren't we? For the tournament, like, who would you go with? I'd go Trent and I'd play Kyle Walker centre.
I like that because of a lot of the best teams in the world. Their best players are usually their left wingers.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of Mbappe for
Yeah.
France and players like that. And if you've got Trent out there and then you've got Kyle Walker inside as well, ready to double up if you need be, to come out into that pocket of space, I think it gives you a little bit of security.
Yeah,
The
but
whole
I think
thing-
also if you got Kyle Walker right back, I think he has that boxed off, doesn't
But
he?
I think-
Trent would be a concern against them.
I think what happens for me is you always end up with a front seven. You look at when you're attacking and you're in that final stage, you'll be a front seven, and the one that'll overload it, Trent will always get forward. So when you're thinking about that being vacated, that area, Kyle Walker almost then turns into a bit of a back three. Do you know what I mean? With him, with Trent bombing on, getting forward, joining in, you almost have Kyle Walker becoming as that back three. But I just don't see any centre half there that I feel comfortable with outside
that's
of.
the reason.
Yeah.
I think that's
Oh,
a big part of it.
that's a massive part of
if
it.
you've got Rio Ferdinand and John Terry, you bang, but you've got John Stones as your best centre half.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that's a risk in itself, wouldn't you? Because you don't always think of him as the one to head the ball out from when crosses are coming in and stuff in from corners.
No. I think, yeah, as much as I like that, I think I'd probably still go Kyle Walker right back. John Stones.
Gay. And who's
Gay.
the centre half? Gay, yeah.
Yeah.
Who goes left back?
If Shaw's fit,
That
Shaw.
one pick trips, doesn't like him.
No,
Yeah,
it would
I
be
think-
Trippier for
Yeah,
me.
it'd be Trippier unless Shaw's fit.
Yeah, I sent you that though, didn't I? I sent you that.
Change it.
No, I don't like his ways, do I? I don't like how he kisses the badge and he does all that thing for the fans. Like, it annoys me. Does all that clapping. He's like, you give the ball away 742 times and you're clapping everyone. Like, just get off the pitch. But I always remember, I can't remember what tournament it was, and he played it. It was actually masterclass from Gareth Southgate, I thought. And he literally changed the team. And Trippier wasn't even anywhere close to it. And then he changed the team, and Trippier was left back, and everyone was like, what? And he played 2 stay-at-home fullbacks. Yeah. And we just cancelled out the opposition. Yeah. Sorry, I can't remember the teams. But Trippier, for me, would just be a real solid. And I just think those defenders, I don't think we're blessed with, an array of centre-halves. And I just think you play Trippier, he's going to be solid. If you just get him to do his thing, he'll be solid. Inside of him,
especially when we're not necessarily strong at centre half, especially on that left side.
Yeah,
you don't want to be leaving gaps.
And
down the
Gay,
side,
like the young lads now, as a young lad, I remember being left out in a big FA Cup game, and I literally could not understand what was going on. I was flying, and then I come back, and you realise now you're older. Like, it was experience, and I just think that I get that, and I just think that back four, we need the experience just to let the front six go and do what they got to do.
What are you thinking, Sam? Any different?
I'd go with
Kyle Walker right back.
I don't know. It depends. If we're playing against Serbia, we're going to have loads of the ball. So I want Trent to be on the pitch. Really.
Say your best team.
I've got a feeling he's going to play him centre midfield.
I would play. If we get onto that, I'd play him centre midfield.
Oh no, Dave.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do there with Rice, Bellingham, Foden? Foden's going to play it well, but he's like, how can he not be playing in the 10?
I'd play him alongside. I'd play Trent alongside Rice.
No,
Getting the ball, mate. See,
Dave.
mate, when he's come on in those games, mate, he's just pick passes straight away,
I
mate.
know, but that's you can do that in friendlies, can't you?
No, mate, I'd play him.
It's like a charity game for a minute.
I'd play him in there, Bellingham in the 10.
It's very what I would call sexy. It's sexy football, that, isn't it? You play him in there and he starts getting on it. But I just think big tournaments, just Rice and then Bellingham and Foden just going 8/10s, going off doing their thing. Oh,
Like Serbia, we're going to go. I think. He's going to go Walker right back, isn't he? I think he'll go those two centre halves who we've
Stones,
mentioned.
Gay, and then
Yeah.
I don't think Shaw's fit enough yet. I think Shaw come into the team later in the
Yeah,
tournament.
I'd like Shaw to play a bit of
okay.
balance on left back.
I don't
I
think
do like
enough,
the balance of a lefty, but it'll be Trippier.
He'll start, I reckon.
Yeah.
Then in midfield, obviously Bellingham, obviously Rice. Then what you do? I think you might end up playing Conor Gallagher.
I think he's
First
given Trent the 8, isn't he? He's giving him the 8 shirt.
Dunno.
Trent, Maino.
You think Trent? What?
No, I'm saying players who can play there. Trent and Maino. Wharton, it'd be too soon for him to start, won't it?
I don't think me and will start. Do you?
No.
Only 12.
I got a feeling he's going. I don't think he should, but I think he's going to
Yeah,
play
I
Trent.
think he'll play Trent, especially in the first games and that. I do like the idea because I think you lose a little bit of Foden if you play him out wide. So if you had him in the 10 and you played Bellingham as more of an 8 who can receive the ball a little bit deeper and just run with it, mate, because he is powerful.
So you're saying no Rice?
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying Rice, yeah. So
Rice.
it's between Trent
So you're saying Rice, Trent, and Bellingham.
and
in the
Bellingham,
10,
yeah,
so
and
the
Foden
two-
will play it wide, I
I
think.
mean, that's attacking, isn't it?
I think you lose something with. I think Foden's been the best player in the world.
And that's my conundrum there, that he's not playing in the
He's
10.
got to play centrally. He's got I watched might have even been the FA Cup final. Foden played out wide, barely touched the ball, come inside, ran the game. I just think that if we've got a chance of winning anything or getting far in the tournament, I know obviously there's a lot going to contribute to doing that, but I think a massive element of it is Foden playing in that central area.
I don't think he will though, but I think he'll play out wide. Yeah. Saka will play right.
I would
Kane will play in the middle.
I would probably prefer to play him on the right though. I think he's ineffective on the left. Foden. He's got more chance of being on the right where he can roll inside. And then I'd play your mate, believe it or not. Who I got loads of stick for, mate.
I called it, didn't I? I called it.
He makes the team so much uglier.
Anthony Gordon's got in this squad ahead of Jack Grealish. I mentioned Anthony Gordon, and these two are playing. He's got a chance of starting. I don't think he will start first game, but he's right in the mix.
We need an out-and-out winger. Saka on the right comes inside all the time. Foden will naturally want to come inside. Anthony Gordon will stay out wide and stretch the game. And I think that's what we need. He'll end up.
We definitely need that player.
I think Kane comes short, doesn't he? Bellingham's going to be in there. Foden's going to be in there. And if you've got Saka rolling inside as well, it's just like everything's just congested.
The problem we've got is Gav's a manager, Dave's a football commentator, and the person with the most knowledge is the head teacher. No, I would go in the midfield. I would go Rice, Bellingham, Foden. I would play that. I don't think he will, but that's what I would play. But I think this is what I think you might start. I do think you might start Gallagher.
What's
he likes
making
him.
you say that?
I think he likes him.
I love Conor Gallagher.
I like him as well.
I love him, man.
I really like him.
I like him, but I don't
he likes
think
them.
he's.
He likes them players, though, doesn't he? Like Gallagher, because then Rice can push on a little bit, and Bellingham, and he likes the fact that it's a bit more solid. I think that's
And the
very
one
much
thing-
Southgate's ways. They've been very big conservative.
Everybody wants them just to go and blow teams away and win 4-5-0, which might be their best tactical defence. But I was listening to an interview with Didier Deschamps earlier, and he was saying defences win tournaments. 100%. The best.
That's a problem, though, isn't it? Because our defence isn't good enough.
Yeah.
This is my point.
I mean, if you chuck a Conor Gallagher in there,
yeah,
do
it's
you know
a
what I mean?
different makeup
That's
because he's
him
running
and-
around, and you've got Rice who's
Him and
quite
Rice,
disciplined, and
yeah.
then you've got Bellingham. So that's quite. That's still
I just
quite
don't think he
solid.
gets in my top 5 midfielders for England. I think he's a good player, but I think Mainoo's ahead of him.
He's underrated. He's one of those players. I would say he's probably the most similar player we've got to what Jordan Henderson was, and Jordan Henderson.
If
the
we
last-
want to get to the
Jordan
quarterfinals, play Conor Gallagher. But if you've got any aspirations of winning a tournament,
Jordan Henderson in the last tournament didn't start the first game, then he came in and played all the games and was like pivotal because he does the stuff that no one else wants to do.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And
I
that's what
totally
find.
appreciate that. I just think you got Rice who can do that. I think Rice does that and more. And I think we only need one in there. If you're gonna have a stay at home back four, like what you're suggesting there, I think you only need Rice. You don't need 2 sitters.
I just think that's what Southgate likes, though, doesn't he? That's he's naturally a conservative manager, isn't he? I just think someone like Conor Gallagher, he'd be desperate. He might not put him in against Serbia because we should have more of the ball, but I bet he's desperate.
But you've said it yourself, though, hasn't he? He does look like he's trying to please the fans. I don't think we're going to see.
He'll get hammered if he plays Gallagher, which I think.
Again,
wrong.
that's why he won't play
Go
him.
well. But the other big thing from a tactical point of view, playing Conor Gallagher. Think of the talent we've got on the counter attack of how quick we can go. He's the one out of anyone we've got who will win the ball back
The ball back,
unexpectedly. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a case of you're shuffling and you might just nick it or whatever. He will get after someone and nick it high up the pitch, and all of a sudden you're beyond their midfield and you can break forward from there.
I agree with everything you're saying. I just don't think, especially if we're going to be the back four that you two think it's going to be, I don't think you need two sitters in. I think Rice does what he does 10 times. But he's a great player and he does break it up brilliantly. I just think that we're going to need those players on the pitch. You're going to need Bellingham, you're going to need Foden, Saka, Anthony Gordon. It makes the team a lot uglier, but...
Especially in those group games when you're going to have more of the ball, like you need Trent on. You got Gallagher instead of Trent on the pitch. Like you want Trent on the pitch, don't you? To create things, but I don't think you will. Then up front, Kane. I'd play forward, and I'd go Kane in the middle, go Saka on the right, Anthony Gordon on the left. Player of the tournament, top scorer, Ballon d'Or.
Such a contradiction. He's a Scouser and you can't stand him. And now he signs for Newcastle. Sam's like he's better than Mbappe.
It's just like if Foden plays in the 10 and Saka plays on the right, who do you play on the left? Like someone to go on, like to
Cole
go
Palmer.
on.
I can't say
Cole Palmer's one of those.
Cole
Palmer would be the one.
Absolutely Palmer, but
I prefer that option from a
plays
tactical point of view. From a tactical point of view,
different, doesn't he? Palmer would be a great sub to come on and get in the ball. And
we got 5 number 10s, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, that's what I think was fair.
Palmer's luxury, isn't he? Where you think Gordon as well. He's so like, and I'm not saying Palmer doesn't work hard, but he has got that bit of grit out of possession as well, hasn't he? He's got that grit.
Imagine him doing the hard yards for 70 minutes, and then you bring on someone like Palmer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For me, again, none of them would get in ahead of Grealish. For me, I'm really surprised. I can't let it go.
But they've all had like far better seasons than Grealish, haven't they?
Yeah.
If you're picking people on form, Palmer,
Grealish is fresh.
Gerard Bowen,
It's difficult. If Grealish,
It's really handsome.
Anthony Gordon are
Eze
all
as well,
streets
yeah.
ahead of Grealish in terms of. Eze had like that. I'd be all right with that.
Oh,
Like,
Eze,
fucking ridiculous.
ex-QPR. He's a joke. He's a great addition. Great addition.
Some good options, haven't they? But
I'm glad I'm not picking that team. by
Oh,
the way.
mate. For me, again, just to clarify, I'd be Rice, Bellingham, Foden. I'd be Saka that side, Kane, and I'd have Foden and Bellingham running off him joining in. And then on that left-hand side, as much as I don't like to say it, probably would be Anthony Gordon. But
that's what I would
what are the other options?
Eze, Palmer, Bowen.
Eze, I'd play Eze. No, that's a lie. That's
Bowen
an emotional
Bowen
decision.
gives you a little bit of what Gordon gives you as well in terms of running behind.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
it's got to be good. And
He's a
he comes
lefty,
off the
though.
back
He's
of having a
better
good
off the
game
right,
the other
isn't
day, didn't he? Anthony Gordon, he looked sharp, didn't he? And full of confidence. So.
It's exciting, isn't it? But like the manager, it's just funny because whatever team he pick, you get absolutely hammered, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like already pick that squad. Like, have you seen this squad? It's a disgrace. And I'm like, it's a disgrace. Well, it's not a disgrace. Grealish, like I would have picked Grealish, but you can see why those people are being picked instead of him because they've all had far better seasons than he has. Maddison hasn't had a great season recently as well, and we've got unbelievable number 10s, so that's fair enough. Braithwaite, the young centre half, like obviously could have gone, but then there's other good centre halves who don't. Like, it's not a disgrace, is it? It's not like he's just left out Harry Kane. Not like he's left out Bellingham. Like he's not. He's clueless. He's clueless. Yeah. He's rubbish. He should
You'll
be
never please everyone.
Sack him before the tournament, and you're just like, oh.
You'll never like it's the emotion and the vocabulary used that like. A disgrace to me, I would probably define disgrace very differently to some of these people.
Who's going to be the scapegoat in terms of the players? Because there's no Maguire, there's no Henderson.
Someone like
a Trent. It'll be like a Trent, won't it? Trent's right up there.
Turn on Trent. Or,
yeah.
That one though, on my WhatsApp group, one of my mates. It's embarrassing. Kyle Walker, like how old's Kyle Walker now getting picked? There must be better young players than him. You're like, what are you talking about?
He's
probably the best right back in the world.
Yeah.
When we come up against France, and if Mbappe is playing there's only one person we want to mark Mbappe, and it's Kyle Walker. Like it's just, I find it hard though. Anybody's entitled to their own opinion. I disagree with that. You're not entitled to your own opinion if you're a moron.
Yeah, but as well, you're not like for me. I agree with that, Sam. You're not entitled to an opinion if you haven't got the detail and the knowledge and the understanding of what's going on behind the scenes. I think you can be disappointed and all that, but like Gareth Southgate, whatever he puts out there, he's gonna see day to day everything that's going on in the camp. Who's like, I had a message, I had a fan come and speak to me like in the season about one of our players. What's going on with it? They didn't realise that there'd been like like a family death. So it was like they're not in the squad because like. And again, I get it. You want to know, you want to understand. I get they want to understand the information, but Gareth Southgate is seeing stuff go on in that camp day to day. He's understanding their confidence levels, where they are, how they've acclimatised to tactics and all of that. You got to trust him to get on with it, haven't you?
And like niggles and all that sort of
exactly,
stuff.
yeah.
And whatever this team starts against Serbia, then it's not going to be the same team.
Yeah, it's
as soon as you
very
get to knockout stage, it's about building your way into the tournament, and
Your
it will
team-
naturally pick itself.
You made a really
as
good
you
point
get
there
to
with Luke Shaw. Like, you can imagine him, can't you?
Yeah.
You know, 3-4 games into the tournament, like, hopefully if we're still there.
If they win the first 2 games, then you can play him for 60 minutes in the third game and make sure he's good.
Your team changed a lot then, Dave, when you played in that 2016 from that first game to the semi-final.
Especially the forward line, they kept changing the striker.
Yeah.
So Gareth Bale started the first game, Hal Robson as a 9, Hal Robson-Kanu the second game, Sam Vokes the
Was that
third
to manage
game.
Gareth Bale? Because I know his body was...
I don't know. I don't know why he started him like as a 9 in the first game, and then he just played him on the right hand side after that. But I think he wasn't sure who to go with out of Hal and Sam Vokes, and in the end, then he went with Hal, then he went with Vokes, he went back to Hal, and to Vokes. So just kept flipping them, changing them all the time.
But it's dependent also, isn't it? I think when you're Wales, no disrespect, when you're sort of not one of the major forces in the tournament, sometimes you have to worry a little bit more about the opposition, how you're going to stop them.
Yeah, and them two are very 2 different strikers. Sam Vokes, hold-up player.
Yeah.
Hal's the one who'll run in behind and work hard, and he would literally he'd play it on what the opposition is. You know what I mean? But obviously for England and France, that you play your best players, don't you?
Yeah, when you are like a major force in the tournament, you can afford just to go. Yeah, we are going to set up for them and make sure that, but we're also going to just focus mainly on
They need to be
ourselves.
worried about us.
Yeah,
Well,
That's
how much
interesting.
detail to go into it, because but Southgate, I just think he's very cautious, isn't he? And I think I just think it's yes, he's trying to do this and that, but you can't help you sort of go back to what's innate in you, that he is a very, very cautious manager and he's a defender, and I think he will want someone protecting that defence. He will be nervous about that defence, and he'll think, I want someone to cover it. Everyone go, just go for it. That's not Gareth Southgate. is it?
But he might, like you say, he might just do that whole, I'm going to please the fans. I'm going to go out. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out, popular or whatever, and remembered this way.
Yeah.
I'm not.
What if he doesn't believe, though, that's the best way to win? You think if he thinks we can win, but he's thinking, and also getting told, ignore the fans, ignore some of the morons on Twitter.
Well, he should absolutely ignore it.
You should do, really.
I feel with Southgate, the one thing which has probably been his weakest point as a manager of England is in-game management, his substitutions later on in games and stuff like that. I don't feel, I might be wrong, I'll have to go back through the games, but I'm thinking of the tournaments which he's been in charge of. I don't think they've ever gone and blown a team away and really put. There might be the odd game, but in big games in particular, and I feel like in all the tournaments there's been positions where they can double down and go 2-3-0 ahead, but it's the other way around. Like against the Italy final,
game in the final,
go 1-0 up, and then it was like, oof, let's hold back.
And
here.
we just sat back and was coming
Do you know
on.
what I mean? And it was going to come. Whereas I think changes in game, substitutions, making them nice and early. And when the game's going the other way as well, when the game's flowing away from you, like that Italy game, they were getting on top and there was nothing to break that momentum, and it was only a matter of time until they scored. So that's something he's got to be. I think he knows what he needs to do, but it's about being brave in that moment, because I can imagine it's hard as you, Gav, as a manager, thinking, is that the right time to make a change? Is it right? And then you magnify that to a European Cup final, and stuff like that, and you don't want to.
It's easier managing on-field changes with your existing players. Like if you were to say, we'll flip the midfield or we're going to change the format. The problem with bringing on a sub is, especially when you're really confident in the 11 and you might think it's fatigue or you've had an idea, you can't undo it.
Yeah.
You can't undo it, and like if the opposition counter it, it's such a different type of pressure because it's got to be instantaneous. You've got to see it in real time and then you've got to do something about it.
And would that affect someone like Gareth Southgate's thinking of who he's going to start in a game, knowing that he can play certain players because they can flip in the game?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas someone might just be a one-trick pony and they can't flip positions or whatever.
100%. You said it there, Sam. Like Cole Palmer, you look at him at the moment, and would you start him in a major tournament, or would you think flipping it? Like if you said to me that he was starting, that doesn't really get me giddy. Whereas if you said he might come on for the last 20 minutes, I'd be like, oh, flipping it.
What is it? Yeah. On for 20 minutes and you just go, mate.
But you wouldn't be confident seeing them start, would you? You put even Eze, I love him because obviously he's ex-QPR and all of that. But you look at him and you go,
You want him against tired defences, don't you?
imagine him coming on with 20 minutes. That's what. But again, it's almost like you can't undo it. So very much you pick a team knowing that someone might It might be a fitness thing. It might be a tactical thing. Very much you do that, yeah.
Southgate does a pretty good job of managing like for tournaments as well, doesn't he? He's managed the team quite well in the tournament. I know we've always fell down at like the final hurdle or in the big games, but he seems to have always done a good job, hasn't he, of set it out, so it's going quite well.
I feel like they're very efficient.
Efficient, that's what we are, efficient.
Yeah.
It's just when them big games, when it's like, it's a bit 50-50, it just seems like it ends up not being 45 towards 55. It just looks like, I think that's the record against the big teams, and it would never quite just have enough. Like, I don't fancy us if we come up against France.
Yeah.
And it is, again, we come back full circle because it's that defence.
And the way the tournament's set up, if it goes the way you should, we win the group, they win the group, we'll face them in the... You'd face them in the...
Semis, is it? Or quarters?
So, yeah, I think semis, I think it's...
Not sure.
England are on France's side of the draw, though, aren't they?
But there's going to be, like, I think they're going to come up against Germany, potentially Germany, Portugal, Spain, Italy, France. They're going to come up against... You probably have to play against at least two, probably three of them, aren't you? Do you back England to win three of them?
You got to do them at some point, don't you?
Yeah, but I just like, just how many times have you watched? How many times have you been sat in the pub and go, "This is the one. This time.
This is it.
This is it, kids. This is it. This is the big one." Oh, we've lost.
Again, no, like, and
Crying
it's
again.
a strange one, isn't it? Because I've been like, I suppose, like you try and show a little bit of empathy to Gareth Southgate, always protecting him, but I think if now, having left Grealish out, Maddison out, and obviously Harry Maguire's injured, I think if that comes back and bites him on the backside, I don't think there's many. He can't be protected really.
Yeah, but he's a good man, isn't he? With good integrity.
Yeah,
He's an excellent man. He's a class act in the way he
Proper
speaks
class
and
act.
everything. Everything about him is a class act. But it's just, is he an absolute ruthless winner when it comes down to the final bit? And is he going to be brave enough to do that? I think that's the argument.
Yeah, but he's
always good.
He's obviously going to be a brilliant coach, isn't he? But say the best managers at vital moments in the game, they can change it, can't they?
But maybe again, if we speak it like, maybe leaving Grealish out is ruthless. Maybe that was him going, well, it would have been easy to take him, wouldn't it? It would have been easy to keep him in and go, oh yeah, that's not going to go down very well. That's going to cause a bit of controversy.
If he takes Grealish and leaves out
Anthony
Eze,
Gordon, even Anthony
or leaves
Gordon,
Anthony, keep it
It's an
on.
easy decision,
Anthony Gordon. A few Newcastle fans might whinge, but no one's really going to bat an eyelid at that. No one's really going to bat an eyelid if Grealish comes
It's
instead
an
of
easy
Eze.
conversation with Anthony Gordon, whereas it's not an easy conversation.
Would have been
with
horrible,
Grealish,
wouldn't
is
it?
Yeah, just a bit too soon for you, Anthony. We'll see you in the World Cup in 2 years.
There's
No
definitely
problem.
moments like that in a season where you're thinking, oh, who am I going to go with here? Well, it'd be easy to. And then in the end, you have to go, no, it can't be about it being easy. You've got to be. Yeah. So maybe it's that side. Maybe it's just a really brave move. And someone like an Anthony Gordon, the centre half guy, hopefully, we always seem to have a player come out of nowhere, don't we?
Yeah.
Remember Owen Hargreaves? Nicky Butt had that tournament, didn't he? Trevor Sinclair. Like, literally, just they seem to perform way above and beyond what they seem capable of. You just hope that one of them... And I think we're going to need a defender to do that. So if it is Gay, it'll need to be him for me.
And he could end up being an absolute superstar,
Yeah,
couldn't he?
he'd be like a
you
Ledley
say,
King,
what an
wouldn't he?
opportunity that is for you to announce yourself.
Warriors, I heard the other day that Stones and Gay have started twice together. The one was the 4-0 loss against Hungary.
This is my problem.
And then the other one was the one that
There's
lost
another
against
reason
Iceland.
why I'd play Walker and Stone centre half.
You just don't have much.
That's just, I think there is
Just don't have
anything
the
to
faith,
that.
though,
is
do
there?
you? Like, you wouldn't, it's for City, like, they've got, like, Diaz and that alongside him, haven't they? You just think, I wish there was something I'd feel safer with Harry Maguire there, just, like, heading the ball out, and I just feel a bit...
And the thing is with Harry Maguire, I mean, I still to this day, I always say it, whoever recruited him for Man United needs a head reading, but in international football, it plays to his strengths.
Loads of time on the ball.
Like low, medium block, loads of time on the ball, everything in front, doesn't have to chase grass in behind him, loads of set pieces. I think he's perfect for it. He's a big loss.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a quick one on the numbers, like, so obviously the numbers the players get. Like, what number do you get then, Dave?
14.
Like, do you get asked that, or you just get given that? How does that get decided? Does Gareth Bale just pick everyone's numbers, or what happens?
No, I think it was just, I think at that time, since that Euros, everyone's stuck with their numbers, if that means. So I wore 14 at Euros, and I wore 14 then for the rest of my Welsh games, all of my Welsh games, I wore 14. Whereas before that, it was just, if you're in the starting 11, you'd wear between 1 and 11.
I had 14 in my career, but it was for very different reasons.
I had 40, but that was only when it was numbers 1 to 11. No, because like they can't all get the numbers, can they? Like Trent can't get the number he has, Foden can't get the number he has. So I was just thinking, like, how does Southgate just go, there's your numbers, lads?
Yeah, there might be the odd conversation, but
I don't know.
nothing.
Does it matter to the players? The players bothered? I don't know.
I think the big
Some-
players.
some
I think,
days I think
Kane will want to wear a specific number.
Can I say, I had
Bellingham will want to wear a specific number.
Yeah.
I had a player who coming from a lower level that I spoke to, not agreed, not going to come, but we had a conversation, and I think the deal breaker was when he asked me for the specific number, and it would be a deal breaker, and I was like, okay, so the number, so you're not bothered about the finances and the location and whether we're going to be successful, but you want that number. He's like,
number 3.
I have to have that number. Yeah. okay, he might not be for us.
Oh yeah, that's a bit much.
I love all that, especially in national, not
National League North.
no, yeah.
Gaffer, I'm a 7. 7 I am. I've already got a 7. Nah.
It does mean something to players, but it can't be a deal breaker. I used to like wearing 4. I used to.
Do you still do your autograph, Gavin? Like when you sign like checks, you still put Gavin Cowan 4 on.
I do, yeah, yeah, because it's recognisable, like nationally.
Yeah.
People all over the world.
I can't read what that says. I can say it's a 4. I can say it's a 4. It must be Gav Cowan now.
It's only in years' time that if something resurfaces, I know my own signature. That's all it is. Not for anyone else.
Remember I think I mentioned this before. Like when I signed for Northampton, though, and he's like, you've got the number 10 shirt, and I thought, oh. Really? Like, are we?
I bet your confidence in the first session though was big, wasn't it?
Like, I was on free kicks at the start in pre-season, wasn't I? Until obviously
Trying to be Roberto Baggio.
I reinvented myself as like Ward Prowse trying to do pre-season. Actually, I was like, oh yeah, who's can I swap with that number 11? Can I just get back on that wing, please? Because this
Number 10.
this number, I can't
My shoulders are killing me. You have to take this number 10 off me.
Everybody's wondering why. Like, why is he not just dropping in and picking the ball up on the half turn and that and spraying it? And I'm like, oh.
Why does the number 10 keep kicking the corner behind the goal?
Can someone take the number 10 off him?
Were you ever given a number, Dave, and you thought, when you went to Luton or first went to Wolves, when you thought, oh, flipping heck, that was it, or were you just pretty standard?
No, it was always pretty standard. When you sign for a club, it's usually you're up in the teens anyway, if that makes sense, for what's available. Do you know what I mean? Because usually the starting 11s are snapped up. It was in my second season. My first season at Wolves, I wore 26. It was like probably the first one available. And then the second season, Mick McCarthy, I remember we was in Falkirk in Scotland doing pre-season. He come round with a sheet of paper. And he just going around everyone, like squad numbers, what do you fancy next season? Here's the list. He got to me and number 4's available. I was like, yeah, I'll take that.
Oh, that's a touch, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
he's
available.
there.
Number 4's available. I mean, what?
I was like, yeah.
I'll have that.
Yeah, I'll have
What a touch.
I love that.
I think at Sunderland, I got a choice between, I think it was 71 and 74.
But then I wore that for 10 years there, and then
Class.
when I come back
Brilliant.
to Shrewsbury and stuff like that, then that becomes a little bit more synonymous with you,
Yeah,
which is good, yeah.
Brilliant. Love that.
That's mad, though. You two were both 4s. Yeah. Very different. I wasn't like lining out a joke. I was just saying very different. Like you were centre off, and you were at the time like an attacking midfield.
Yeah, it wasn't an attacking midfield number, was it really? But
And I used to do that, but they always just go, you should really be 5 or 6.
5.
And I was like, no, I'm 4. I'm
Even
like
six-
I'm like
even
Glenn
6
Hoddle.
is generous. I'd
Yeah,
say 5.
yeah.
Declan Rice.
5.5 at the most. 5.5
Like,
at the most.
I'm like Glenn Hoddle. I'm like Glenn Hoddle. And then-
It's a number 8. No, Gabby, it's not available. We don't have
it was a deal breaker for me.
Right, well, what about predictions then for Sunday? I mean, shall I go first because I'm the king of predictions, following on from my success?
Hang on a minute. You got one right. I think it was me. I think if we're talking overall, I've probably got the most right.
I think we added them up, didn't we?
You got one right.
Did I win? I think I won. I think this.
No.
Champion.
Gap changed, didn't it?
Oh no, we changed. Me and Dave crumbled, didn't we?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
went for us, and
You
you were
didn't
like, I'm
change.
sticking to my guns.
yeah.
Like, be brave. Don't
Courage,
change,
bravery.
bravery,
You
courage.
two shit
all the
yourself.
thing that me and Dave are lacking.
we'd have Grealish in the squad, wouldn't we? Henderson would be in there.
Do you think Grealish is good enough? No. Are we taking him? Yeah, we're going to have to. Yeah. I haven't got the heart to tell him. Oh, that must have been because you. Sorry, just to go off track a little bit. You think about like the first thing I thought about was when you talk about past players, about when Glenn Hoddle liked to tell Gaza.
Oh, mate.
Take him to-
Turn the office over.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did it go, Glenn? Could have.
Can I take it well? Not really. Not really.
Where is he now? Oh, he's outside in the tennis court kicking shit out of someone.
Give us a prediction for that first game then. It's always tight. It's going to be tight,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I think there'll be a goal in it, won't there? I think that like everyone will underestimate them because there won't be a France, Germany, whatever. But it'll be tight, mate, won't it? Tournament football,
Go on,
cagey.
give us a. I mean, or do you want me to ask Dave first so you can copy Dave?
No,
I've wrote mine down just to show I'm not copying.
okay. I'm gonna go 1-1.
Oh, it's rubbish. How negative is that? It's pathetic.
Can I change?
That would be devastating, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want it to be 3-0 England, but I just
That
got
would be full on Southgate out. Worst team. The team he's
They
picked. is
draw a
a
lot of their
disgrace.
opening games, though, don't they? England?
Yeah, that's why I said it, Dave. Because that is
know your
some,
history.
Well, someone's I will say that someone said it to me the other day, so
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue.
I'm going to go 2-1 England.
Yes, come on, England.
I'm going to say 2-0 England.
Very overzealous.
Don't know, I've gone a bit.
I hope you two are
Conor
right and I'm
Conor
wrong.
Gallagher 1, Anthony Gordon 1.
Yeah. Can I have
get
a
a
quick
bet on
conversation about this? I think we should have taken Joe Hart. I cannot still to this.
Brackley.
Yeah, I still can't understand
England
to
should
this
take
day.
Joe Hart.
I just don't understand why he was omitted from the England squad. I understand the Pep one. When you look about Edison coming in and the way football's changing and all of that, the England one, I don't understand. I think Pickford for me gets too emotional. He's too leery. He's not big enough. I don't understand. I think,
all season though.
but I think like he
One
playing
amazing
games.
finish for Joe, though. We haven't obviously spoken
Yeah,
about
we
it, but
haven't. Yeah,
what an
incredible.
amazing
Phenomenal.
finish. Won the league, won the cup. You see their banners?
Oh, mate,
His last game at Celtic Park.
incredible,
What
mate.
are we doing with regards to the podcast and Joe's retirement?
He's coming on as the fourth wheel. Yeah, we're announcing it next week.
That'll get us a big sponsor. That would.
Yeah, no, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What's with gloves? Like a glove sponsor, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I could do some gloves for me, aren't
I could do with a glove.
He's
Like,
involved. I
do
think
you-
he's
you-
involved in his own gloves.
Yes.
He'll be able to send you some, I'm sure. Kalia? Yeah, it's his own make. He's
Shout
involved in
out
it.
to them. Can
Yeah.
they sponsor us?
can you sponsor us,
You,
please?
you picked Joe Hart for this England squad.
Maybe
Yeah, that is
maybe
quite
this
rich. He's
maybe
obviously
this is
just
because
retired.
obviously he's retiring. Maybe it's a little bit late, but like for me, I still can't understand
43.
what happened. Why all? And I know he was going through a little bit of a rough stage, but when you look at like you go back, your Peter Shilton, your Chris Woodses,
wouldn't
David
bring them
Seamans, I would. They play right back for me. I like
Chris
that. All
Woods,
goalkeepers have been through moments and that. I still think he should have been playing the last couple of years. Personally,
Yeah,
I've been saying.
been around it.
I just don't understand it. I don't like. I'd love.
Also-
That'd be the first thing I'd ask Gareth Southgate if I was in a room with
Why
him
did
and I
you
could.
get rid of him?
What happened with Joe?
I think he's just a
When
ma-
he
massive
started 9 out of the 10 qualifiers
Yeah.
before the
Why do
2018
that?
World Cup and then leave him out the squad
I
completely.
still cannot get my head around it. The Pep one, even said to Joe, even Joe was going, wasn't he? Fucking hell, you bring in Edison.
Now
And he starts doing
Joe's
that.
retired. Are we not allowed to release the footage of when Joe was talking about it now?
Yeah. What did he say again? For me, that maybe it's a bit late. Maybe I'm
No,
being
with
a little
goalkeepers,
bit
that's a good
emotional,
point
but-
though, because obviously the third goalkeeper is never going to play, are
Yeah.
they? So wouldn't you take someone like Joe
my
as
God.
experienced? You know what I mean? It's just
Exactly.
the kind of
In the dressing
Exactly.
room.
because it's such an isolated position, that goalkeeper. So to always be a mentor to
Massive
Pickford
character.
and-
Having people like that though in your dressing room, it's like in the team in the in the lineup. We talk about people like Roy Keane and Jaap Stam, and I watched
Yeah.
that '99. You need those people around you, especially when you got a lot of young lads like that. And you got looking around, you got Eze, Gordon, and all these people. I'm like, well, who am I looking to? Yeah, I've got hopefully you got Kane, you got Rice, you got Kyle Walker, but someone like Joe Hart,
yeah.
Yeah, like again, I always think they're like not the strength is like how your weakest person, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's like those people there, how you measure your strength.
Yeah.
Because actually, that's another thing that makes me nervous. I don't feel like we've got enough of that in the squad. Whereas I had lads we went on for Brackley. Sorry, going back to that, we had an unbelievable run, and I had like 5 players who could probably get in most teams in the league, not in there. But they were all their attitude and everything. Obviously, they're disappointed, they're desperate to get in a team. But they were the measure of the relative.
Especially if they're
success.
senior as well.
Oh, so good. Yeah, like Alex Goodger, James Armstrong. I
senior
mean,
players.
incredible lads. Like you think, like to be out the team and to put your own personal feelings aside for the team, and like Joe would have done that, wouldn't he?
Oh, 100%.
You look at people like that.
What who you think is going to win it, Dave? Not England. Are we all agreeing that England
Brazil.
aren't going to win it? It's a bit negative.
Brazil will win it.
We'll say it. None of us.
A lot. I think France have got the strongest squad.
Yeah.
because I think they've got the strength and depth at the back as well. They got like Saliba, haven't they? And Theo Hernandez left back, and Upamecano, is it?
No.
Yeah, they got they're good at the back. But I really fancy Portugal.
I fancy Portugal. That was going to be me.
So, honestly, their squad.
There's a shock. He fancies Portugal.
I've written it
It's the
down.
Wolves team,
I've
isn't
written it down. Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
Wolves
it is
team.
literally
It's
the Wolves
Wolves.
team.
It's
Yeah.
Wolves.
They're on
I
the.
don't think they call themselves Portugal. I think they call themselves Wolves.
They're
love to see
on,
them.
they're on the other side of the draw, so it is an easier run than what England and France would be. But their players, honestly, it'd be interesting because Martinez is manager, isn't he? If he plays Ronaldo or not, because realistically he shouldn't play Ronaldo. But you talk about a hard, yeah. You talk about
Slowing down,
a
isn't it?
hard conversation to have with Cristiano first game.
Roberto Martinez. Ronaldo's playing. Roberto Martinez won't be allowed in the dugout if Ronaldo says he's not. He'll say, Roberto, I am playing. Thank you very much. And that, like,
Say to your assistant, you couldn't go tell Cristiano for me, could you?
You're not allowed in yet. Martinez is passing that.
Where's the gaffer? Oh, he's in the food hall.
Yeah. I've picked the team. I've told Ronaldo's not playing, but I haven't told him yet. And he's just getting stripped. He's just putting the number 9 on. He's just put the captain's armband.
Doing that with his palm.
He's put the captain's armband on. You haven't told him yet. I can't tell him.
I'd play him. Again, we're just talking about characters there. His presence, just his sheer presence on the pitch.
I think later in the tournament, if you're playing a big team, you lose a man when you haven't got the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With Ronaldo. But look, I wrote down some of their players, mate. So at the back, they're strong. They've got Ruben Diaz. They've got Dalot's had a good season United. Nuno Mendes as well at PSG. He's decent. Pepe, I know he's a bit older. They've got Cancelo.
Pepe.
Yeah.
And they got Cancelo. And then midfielder, Palhinha from Fulham. Class act.
Quality.
On the midfield. Vitina, who's at PSG. Doing really well. Bruno,
Bernardo Silva.
Neves as well. Neves won't play, but Neves is there. Bernardo Silva, and then up front, I think Silva will probably play wide right from. Then you've got Rafael Leao from Milan, who's like a joke. You've got Ronaldo. You've got Gonzalo Ramos, who's striker. He's gone to PSG. Who I think he might play tonight. You've got Jota, Diogo Jota from Liverpool, and João Felix as well.
Mate.
I think it's only Felix who hasn't played for Wolves.
And then they've got Neto and Semedo in the squad as well, the Wolves boys. That's a strong squad, isn't it?
That is a really strong squad.
It's not Ben Howard, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? You think it is?
Generically,
I think it's
we've got
more
individual
depth.
better players.
I think
It's more balanced. I think it's more balanced.
Yeah, I know what you mean with Diaz in there. France is good though, isn't it?
And France as well, yeah, they're strong at the back.
Mbappe, Griezmann, what's it? Kamavinga, Dembele,
I was
Kingsley Coleman.
Kante's in the squad as well, isn't he? Kante's been recalled to the squad. Yeah.
Some old boys knocking about, isn't there? And
He's only 32 though, Kante, but he's over in Saudi, isn't he? So
you definitely take him though, wouldn't you? You know, you look at, again, I just think it's a real thing, isn't it? Presence on the field can bring just belief for the rest of the group, can't it?
how are England going to get on though when they come up against them? That's where I just got no faith.
Way, couldn't it? Because again, you look at the back four and the front six. Like if we end up being in that side of the pitch.
How many times can you remember us winning like in the big games though? We was beating Germany 2-0. What other games can we win? Like how often? When can anybody remember us beating? And it would be France.
And putting a team away as well though.
Yeah.
Germany 1966.
I remember Germany 66.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Can't remember.
That was it. I think that was the last.
No, but I just feel like in the big games we just never quite get over the line.
It's going to have to change for England at some point though. So
we've been saying that for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a good team. Germans at home as well. You never know.
And this is Southgate's last tournament. Do we agree?
Yeah. I'd imagine so. I think it needs freshening up now. You can see some of.
He's done well. He's done really.
He's done.
Well.
Incredible.
Even if you win it, I think you leave
beyond everybody's expectations.
If you win it, you leave it.
Yeah,
he's done really, really well.
Yeah,
Hasn't he?
like you say, class act.
He hasn't done amazing unless he wins it. He's done really, really well.
See, for me, I think like he has done amazing. What's he got to a final, lost on penalties, and then was he?
No, we lost. Yeah, we lost.
Lost on
penalties. Not in the final. We didn't.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Of course we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, lost on penalties in the final.
And lost in the semi-final.
Yeah, not come anywhere near that. For years.
I suppose
listen, you want to win it.
Talented players, but then you think we've had.
What did they do in the World Cup? They lost to France in the quarters, was it?
Last one we lost to France in the quarters.
That was a close game, wasn't it?
Harry Kane missed a pen.
Was that semis? Was it?
No, it was quarters, wasn't it? I think.
And Harry Kane missed the pen. He had two penalties and he scored one and missed one.
Guy went over the bar.
Was it 3-2?
2-1 quarters. Is that right, Crossy?
Just checking.
I think it was the quarters before the Euros.
Quarters before the semis.
The Croatia. they lost to Croatia in the semis. The one
What
before,
was it?
didn't
What
they?
was it, Crossy? I think I've probably got this wrong, Crossy. What was it? I was right. Okay.
Croatia was the semis. The
Croatia was the
2018.
semis. Yeah,
Match
that
up.
was getting over the line, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right then. Well, that's interesting. Then. Anyway, well, that's good. This is going to be released before England's first game, so everybody will have the chance to digest
They'll be in their
it, and
cars
then-
going mental, going,
hope
no,
it- yeah.
it'll play him, play them.
They're going, it's a disgrace. The
Yeah,
squad's a
it's a
disgrace.
disgrace.
If you're
You
saying
haven't
that,
got
if you're
a
saying the
clue.
squad's a disgrace, you're a disgrace.
Yeah.
Interested in your opinion. It's not a disgrace. And then hopefully, if you're listening to it after the match, we're going to look pretty stupid if being turned over 3-0.
If I'm going to bet my bottom dollar, I
Gallagher
think
scored
at
no
some
goal.
point we're going to look really stupid, more stupid than we already look.
Yeah. This will come out after the Scotland game. So what result for them, by the way? Beating
Yeah.
the Germans on the opening night.
4-0. 4-0. Never saw that coming.
Yeah.
4-0.
It's incredible.
So, I mean, let's go. Who've Scotland got else in the group? Did Germany lose that? Who else have they got?
No idea.
No clue.
Crossy knows.
No one cares.
No one's batted an eyelid.
I think Germany will do well. I mean, a success for Germany and success for Scotland. Scotland will do really well. If
So it's
they
the
make
best
it.
time to play them, though, isn't it? That opening game, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So I think Scotland will do amazingly well to get to the third game. And that'll be,
To get to it.
and then go home like they always do. Useless.
You're like Dr. Evil there.
Yeah. Absolute whipping boys. We'll end on
Them
that.
boys will be excited, though, won't they? Wow.
Yeah. Get absolutely whooped.
Get out of Scotland. Only joking, just a bit of
Yeah.
Jocks and Geordie's banter.
Yeah, don't get
isn't it?
too... Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They get any
Too
abuse or
soon.
get threatened to be,
You're nearly Scottish anyway, aren't you, out there?
well,
Spitting distance, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
Far enough away, though.
Right, thanks for listening, everybody. Anybody got anything else to say?
No, I think we've embarrassed ourselves
All right.
enough.
Yeah.
Should we-
Right.
and I'm absolutely knackered.
Can we
You
say
go to
so?
bed now,
We're
Gav.
going for so you're going Portugal for the tournament?
Portugal for me.
You didn't say anyone,
I
did
want
you?
to say
France.
England, but...
Yeah, it's boring to win it, but like, you've got to say France. haven't you? France.
Standard.
Yeah.
You'd have taken Grealish.
France, take Grealish, take Gallagher. Oh, flip out, but I'm like... Gareth Sa-
Portugal win, then you've got a bias dinner.
So have you both said Portugal?
I'm in Portugal, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Might as well, there's no point. There's no point in having both of them on. Just one of them might as well come on, and then one come, and the other one come on the next week. I don't know why they're both coming on just doing the same thing.
Thanks for listening.
Right, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.